Well, well, well. We are back in the building, and it's time to get it going. It's the Barbershop on a Saturday morning. Get your cup of coffee, get everything ready to go, because I'm going to tell you why. People in my media, people in my circle are finally starting to see the light. After all the training videos, after all of the videos of staying after practice, after all of the great things that you see on the internet, Shedeur Sanders is gaining steam. And it ain't coming from national media. It ain't coming from me. It's coming from my local brethren. See, they are starting to see the light right when it counts the most. And that's when you're about to get them pads on. See, I told you, you could play around with all you want. But guess what? You can't play around when it comes to the pads. Because now this is find out time. This is find out season. And a lot of people in my local area is starting to come to the table. We'll talk about it next on, you know what it is. Get that coffee ready. It's the Barbershop.
Quality, service, atmosphere. You're next in the chair. Feel at home in the Barbershop. G. Bush offers a fresh cut on sports. The Barbershop isn't just grooming for guys. It's culture, it's lifestyle, it's sports. And it's now the Barbershop is giving the sports scene a sheer shave and shine. Join the makeover now. Follow Garrett Bush at GBush91 on Twitter.
Let's go! Saturday morning, a staple of what you do, you rise and shine. Let's go, get it together. It's your boy G. Bush back with another episode of the Barbershop. We want to appreciate. We shout out everybody, wherever you at. If you around listening all over the great world abroad, we appreciate you out there doing your thing. As a matter of fact, shout out to all the people that are on Facebook, all the people on Twitter, all the people on UCSS, all the people on the Barbershop YouTube channel. We are ready to go. And mind you, I always say this: hit that like button for your boy, because we will get it going. See, my alarm is doing what all? But we ready to go. The alarm told me, let's get it popping. Great show planned for you today. As always, man, training camp is less than a couple of days away, less than, I believe, 2 weeks. And let me tell you something. Your boy G. Bush, he will be at training camp. The credentials have already been stamped. The credentials are stamped, ready to go. And that's going to be devastating, because I'm going to be out there with that ball cap on, looking around like this, in a crouch, kneeling, looking around like, let me see what I got going on out here. And by the way, in preparation, see, this is what nobody can say. In preparation, I've already gone back and watched every single game of the Cleveland Browns last year. In preparation, I've already gone back and rewatched all throws from Shedeur Sanders. In preparation, I have gone back and watched all throws from Dillon Gabriel. Guess what? I even went back and watched Flacco with the Colts. All of them. And guess what else I did? I didn't want to. I never thought I would say I was going to start watching Pittsburgh Steelers footage, but I went back and checked out Kenny Pickett too. You know what? I don't know how many people can say that. You see, I'm ready to lock and loaded. When we get out to camp, we're going to be ready to go. I'm off Tuesdays and Thursdays. We will be in Berea. We will be looking around. I'll tell you what I see. And you know what I do? I'm not going to sugarcoat it, and I'm going to keep it real, because here's how I feel about football. Football, to me, my credibility is worth more than any individual person. Because the greatest part about football is ain't no picks out there. We ain't got no picks. Ain't no picks. I'm going out there to look, and I'm a broadcast what I see. If Kenny Pickett come out there and throw for 700 yards and he looked like the second coming of Joe Montana, I got to tell you, he looked like Joe Montana. But if they trying to tell you that Kenny Pickett is supposed to be starting and he ain't do nothing at practice, I'm also going to let you know that too. All these mythical, vague narratives. Oh, yeah, he could really spin it. Well, you ain't never going to hear me say I could spin nothing. I don't spin nothing. I don't spend tops, quarters, nickels. I don't spend nothing. The only thing I spend is money. And we're going to get to that. So G. Bush is in training camp. Be ready for that. We're going to have alerts on here. We're going to get right to it. But first and foremost, let's talk about this. Let me make sure I set this up. Shedeur Sanders came out, and you guys, if you follow me all over the different places, right? You follow me, whether it's on Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, UCSS, wherever you at. You follow me, and you saw the fact that I put out. I said, listen, I love what Shedeur Sanders is doing right now. There's footage of him running, moving around. Footage of him throwing at the compound in Texas. Footage of him running at 12 o'clock, putting that work in. And I think it's very funny because I've been preaching this since day one over here. All this is nice and cute. It's all cute. We talk about all this stuff. Sometimes we don't got nothing to talk about in the media when we hanging out. Players ain't here right now. We ain't really got much to say. We look at people looking for stories to talk about. But when it starts to get to camp, let me explain something to you. Watch how slowly stuff start to shift and turn. The stark stances that you see people have, the night and day stances that people look like they about to die on that particular hill, watch how those different attitudes and perceptions start to shift as what I like to call figure out time. See, this is what the game of football is, and nobody is bigger than that. Everybody who is in this game understands that. It's figure out time. Because now training camp is here. And more importantly, you're going to get competition. So now, instead of a little mini camp battle that only 2 or 3 people was at, or 3 or 4 people came to show up, or they got the video out, the entire world sees it. You can't hide training camp footage during inter-squad scrimmages with other teams. Everybody's all over that. And when it comes down to these preseason games, you can't hide that. That's on national television. And guess what? A bunch of people gonna tune in. So the time for spin is done, because it's all about what you put on that paper, on that film work, right? It's what you put on the work in on the field. And when you dropping dimes and your team is behind you and you scoring touchdown Browns, there ain't nothing nobody can do. You just got to sit there and take that. What you gonna say? Can't say nothing. So watch how this starts. Watch how this start to cook. Watch how it matriculates. It starts slow. Start by saying, well, I think he got an opportunity and a chance. Then it starts by, well, he's done a good job in the offseason. He's acclimated himself. Then he starts to say, well, he always had second round talent. Always had it. Shedeur has always been balling, but it's just the fact that we had to put it all together. I think him sliding really put it in perspective for him and drove him. Well, they are really impressed by the way he's really done over the offseason. And it's night and day from where he was at the time. So that summer prepper, those 3 weeks, we'll give him credit because he really dialed in, locked in, and really put the extra work in. And right now I can say he's on the same level as the other. Okay. That's how it starts. You slowly but surely Get that Billie Jean. You say, what that mean? You start moonwalking. You get that Billie Jean. Annie, are you okay? You get that glittery glove on, you start moonwalking. Because that's what it be. You got to moonwalk after a while, because guess what? We're going to find out. So let me give you some footage. Shout out to this guy too. Shout out to Nick Wilson over at 92.3 The Fan. Shout out to them. I was just over there with Jonathan Peterlin. He just came back from, matter of fact, we want to go check this out. So I'm going to play this clip here. This is Nick Wilson. This is courtesy of 92.3 The Fan. And Nick Wilson sparked this conversation. Nick Wilson is the person, I'll give him credit for being a catalyst in what we're talking about today, because he has seen the light. Oh, they have seen the light. It's coming around. I'll give him credit because he's starting to point out something that I've always been talking about, that I've been consistently talking about. And that is, stop trying to use this 5th round magic. It's not working. This 24 karat magic, this Bruno Mars is not working, because people is now seeing what it is. It's not a gimmick. Talent is what's going to get him on the field. Knowledge, his ability to throw the football, all those things is what got him here. It's not your narrative. Here we go.
Want to treat Shedeur like a 5th round pick. Now, I get it. But you have to be open to that 2nd round talent being the thing that sparks your own curiosity. He's got to do it, guys. I know he's got to do it. I'm not here to say where some people just want to give him things. Nope. It's the NFL. And I think he's got a great personality, so I think he'll naturally endear himself to his teammates. But how you really endear yourself to your teammates are work harder than everyone, know the playbook better than everyone, execute better than everyone, be the most physically talented quarterback or somewhere in that conversation. Shedeur has that opportunity. And if he doesn't, and the Browns stick to this idea of the things that they allowed to tamp down the Shedeur hype into camp, into the regular season, if he's doing everything that matters and you still treat him like a 5th round pick, then at some point on a team with really just not great quarterback options, you are harming yourself. And that is exactly how you get fired.
Whoa.
So don't do that.
Whoa. Hold on. Look, hold on. Let me take this. Hold on. Listen. Hey, chat. I ain't even say that. See what I'm saying? I didn't say G. Bush, and you know how I get down in the barbershop. Hey, chat. He figured it out. He figured it out. Came to him. If you're going to play these reindeer games, if you're going to be playing the shadow game, you're not going to win this. You're not. Why are you trying to play games when all you got to do is see what you got and roll with it? If you want to play these games where it's like, oh, he's a 5th round, this and this, and what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to sit here all season and do this game back and forth with people. Because I somehow think that people believe that they can sabotage a whole team full of people's season just so they could play around. You're playing around at this point. Let's not act like he's a 5th round pick. We know why he was a 5th round pick. Even the people that don't even necessarily think he was a top 2 pick understand that he's a top 2 in first 2 rounds talent. If you think, listen, come on, man. You think Jackson Dart better than him? You know he ain't. But you use this mythical thing to put over. You use this blanket. And the problem I got with this blanket is, in the backdrop of all of this, is the fact that you feel that you are so secure in your job that you can play games with the quarterbacks, not play who you're supposed to play, lose a bunch of games, and we're going to keep showing up. We don't come to watch the Kevin Stefanski, Andrew Berry show. I need to give people a heads up with this. See, Nick Wilson is understanding in real time how this thing works. Hey, I'm gonna just keep it real with y'all. You know how there's a whole large, loud contingency of people that just showed up in Cleveland now, that are very vocal in every comment section, that are very vocal when at any turn of the hat, holding your feet to the flames. You think that you can come out here, play around, play Kenny Pickett for 7 to 10 games because you like his long flowing hair, or you like the way he wears 2 gloves, and then lose 12 games, 13 games in a row, and you think people ain't going? It don't work that way. It don't. It's easy to say take L's this right now. It's easy to run around and say, oh, take these L's. Let's take these losses. We don't even really got to play none of these dudes. Let's go ahead and keep. It's easy to say that now, but guess what? When you start taking them L's in September, and then October, then Christmas and Thanksgiving is coming up and you still taking L's, you think people gonna sit around here and hang out and say, oh, well, at least we got Kevin Stefanski. We do not come see coaches play. Stop trying to sell me this. Y'all finally starting to get it with the Guardians, ain't y'all? I love when y'all finally come around, come into the fold. The Guardians sat around, and every time we talk about, do you got some bats or you doing something, they tell me how great the front office is because they do the most with the least, and they're handcuffed because the owner won't pay no money. Stop it. I don't come to see nobody in the front office. Stop telling me about general managers. You know what you should be? Silent. Show me the win. Here's how I know what a good coach is. Ain't no headlines. Here's why I know what a general manager is. I don't know who he is. Only thing I know is every time the Browns go up to the podium in the NFL draft, they keep getting steals. Every time I look around, a 4th or 5th or 6th round pick is hitting. You like, who is this guy? Well, the general manager. Who's the general? We don't know. It's the Wizard of Oz. I don't know what he does. That's what general managers are. Stop trying to sell me on, we got the regime and we got, listen, y'all got y'all stadium. But let me tell you something. Y'all think y'all can play around this year? Some of y'all won't see it. You won't even make it. My dad always told me, my dad, he probably in church right now, somewhere doing Bible study. It's 9:00. He getting ready for Sunday. He said, you know what, son? In the Bible, there were some good people that never saw the promised land. That's deep. Some people ain't fit to see the promised land. I was like, dang, bro. You just walk around in the wilderness? I didn't say it. He said it. And his assessment is correct. I'm dropping a bomb on this. I'm bringing this all the way back. Because this is, he's telling you. You can see the realization in his face. Like, nah, y'all was trying to sell us on these 2 old dudes earlier. They may get some minutes, but we're not going to play around with the whole, all right, we about to waste this year, not let them play, and then come back and say, well, we're going to pick our guy. No, and this is the backdrop of this. I'm going to give you this too. Now, hold on. Let me take this down. I'm going to put this back up. Because here's what we're doing. Hold on. Don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. It's a quote. So it says, you show me a NFL coach who has won consistently without a good starting quarterback, and the list has to be very small. This is a column. This was on King Carmen's show, 92 Through the Fair. Mary Kay said this on Kevin Stefanski's job being in jeopardy while finding their quarterback of the future. You see, this is the thing that we push against and we fight against. I'm into the fierce urgency of right nowness. You're not gonna sell me on make this make sense. So you saying that you drafted 2 quarterbacks this year, but you're saying that this is about finding the quarterback of the future. But in the present, you don't want to play the 2 guys, or you don't want to give them any opportunity to see what they can do. But you want to say it's still the present, but you playing people from the past. You see, you got to make this make sense, because you're caught between a rock and a hard place. And the reason people are caught between a rock and a hard place is because the logic is flawed. And if you make people answer to what you're saying, it won't make sense. So the Cleveland Browns are saying, show me a coach who has consistently won without a starting quarterback, right? I go back to it. When they got here, Baker Mayfield was here. We didn't get rid of Baker Mayfield. Whether we are detractors, or whether we like Baker, or whether we thought what he was, it is the Cleveland Browns' decision, and it's the Cleveland Browns brass that is their job and decision to choose whether or not Baker Mayfield was playing or not playing, or they wanted him to be a part of the organization. They made the decision. I didn't make the decision. You didn't. Kevin Stefanski did. Deshaun Watson, we did not make that decision. We can tell you whether we liked it or not, but we didn't make that decision. They made the decision. So for all the people that want to hold people, like, no, you can't do it. Stop trying to hold people accountable for everything that he is responsible for. I didn't go meet Deshaun Watson. I don't care if I liked him or not. I don't care if that was my brother. I didn't go meet him. The Cleveland Browns went and met him. The Cleveland Browns went and changed the offensive coordinator. That's what they did. Now, the Cleveland Browns, this draft class, this one had an opportunity. They could have took Travis Hunter. They could have took Jackson Dart. They could have took a bunch of people. They chose the picks. Nobody showed up and hijacked the draft for the Cleveland Browns. Nobody, no fan, no media member went over and turned in the card for them. They made the decision. Not me, not Mary Kay, not nobody on Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, no fan, not the Dog Pound, nobody. It was the Cleveland Browns organization through their own free will. So you're telling me they drafted the people and then don't want them to play? They drafted them, but they don't seem like they want them to get any minutes to see if they can evaluate them. You got 2 dudes that you know ain't franchise quarterbacks that you're starting over the people you drafted. So here's my thing. What is it? Either you're incompetent or you're frauds. Because if you knew you didn't want to play those guys, you were the one evaluating them. Why take them? Why? I'll go back and play this. Let's get back to it. Nick Wilson, he points it out. I can't make it up. Let me know. And if you listen, and if you disagree, let me know. Let me know how this makes any sense. How it makes any sense, you let me know. I want to see your mental gymnastics on this. How we listen, how we've gotten to the point where it's like, how are we actually acting like we're coming to see Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski play? They ain't take no snaps, but they just get to stay. They just get to. You've been here for 6 years. You've gotten to hire your staff and your coaching staff. You've gotten to evaluate a quarterback that was here. You've got to go out and trade for quarterbacks using assets. You've got draft picks this year. capital. You could have got all the picks, but you want to tell me you want to suck this year so that you can go next year and say, this class is better. That ain't how it works in life. As an employer, I got to deal with staffing today. I am tasked with staffing that position today. I can't go over to my boss and say, listen, we're understaffed right now. We're not meeting our quota. Revenue goals is down. But you want to tell me, well, listen, I didn't like none of these batches of candidates. So in the next 6 months, there's a graduating class of seniors coming out of John Carroll that I think is going to be much better. Much better. Bring them on down here, and I guarantee we can get them in 6 months. He said, listen, bro, your job is to get the talent available at the time and then maximize it. That's what we hired you for. That's why you're in leadership. So you can take C players and make them Bs. Take B players and make them As. And then develop A players so that you can make your whole team better. Because now, instead of you doing all the work, you can empower the A player to start taking some of these delegations off, to start giving back to people, sharing their knowledge, imparting their knowledge, so we can promote, get them out. And then guess what? More A players want to play on your team because guess what? They see what you did with that A player. But that's just corporate America. I guess that don't work in football. But these are Fortune 500 companies, I do think. Talk to them, Nick Wilson. Talk to them.
You want to treat Shedeur like a 5th round pick. Now, I get it. But you have to be open to that 2nd round talent being the thing that sparks your own curiosity. He's got to do it, guys. I know he's got to do it. I'm not here to say where some people just want to give him things. Nope. It's the NFL. And I think he's got a great personality, so I think he'll naturally endear himself to his teammates. But how you really endear yourself to your teammates or work harder than everyone, know the playbook better than everyone, execute better than everyone, be the most physically talented quarterback or somewhere in that conversation. Shedeur has that opportunity. And if he doesn't, and the Browns stick to this idea of the things that they allowed to tamp down the Shedeur hype into camp, into the regular season, if he's doing everything that matters and you still treat him like a 5th round pick, then at some point on a team with really just not great quarterback options, you are harming yourself. And that is exactly how you get fired. So don't do that.
Courtesy of 92.3 The Fan. He said it, I did. But he is correct. His assessment is spot on. This is why I've always given my dissertations in life. And I've always said, people at the highest level, you know what alarmed me? You know what alarmed me the most was that, okay, I'll give you a quick aside. As I got back into broadcasting in high school, my team, we won the USA Today National Championship. That's the #1 high school team in America. They had 12 Division I scholarship athletes, Cam McKinley. And I then I started doing play-by-play after my, career or whatever, and got into broadcasting. And I had an opportunity to talk to my old football coach, interview Tom McDaniels. He is the father of Josh McDaniels, coordinator for Tom Brady, all the Super Bowls, His other son, Ben, he's been a receivers coach, quarterback coach in the NFL for a long time through the Texans. He's been at University of Michigan. So, their family obviously has been in the game of football for a long time. Tom McDaniel was in the National High School Hall of Fame. And I had a question. I said, when we played in 1997, he gave me a little bit of a story. He said, we played this team called St. Ignatius. And if in the area, St. Ignatius is a great school. Chuck Kyle is their coach, Catholic school. And we were a public school. And we started playing St. Ignatius. And as a public school who can't recruit, we just had kids from the neighborhood. So Chuck Kyle and St. Ignatius used to beat the brakes off of us. I remember going to the games back in 92. Dating myself here. 92, and I'm seeing people just beat us. And I'm like, man, these Ignatius guys, they used to come down, they had an 80-man roster, 40 on offense, 40 on defense. Nobody played both ways. And they come down here, and these white dudes they had the big, 6'5", 320. I'm like, ain't nobody seen nothing like that in high school. So fast forward, we get a little older, we get to about 1996, we played them again. And everything that we were doing was trying to beat them, right? You know, they implemented an off-season program where we ran, and it was mandatory lifting, and you know, guys, we were building our program. Guys who played on that team, Kenny Peterson, you know, he went to Ohio State, he played in the league. Dustin Fox was from that area, went to Glen Oak, he played in the league. Mike Doss, Ohio State Buckeye, he was on that team. 12 Division I guys. And we started building our roster. We started building up, and we got to a point where our coaches was like, all right, we got to get disciplined. We got to play as disciplined and as hard as they do. And the gap started to close. 1996 comes around. We get to 1997. We're up 10-0. We thought we had it won. They pulled it out. That offseason, USA Today goes to our coach, Tom McDaniels, and says, hey, we see your roster. You guys got all these athletes. You guys are monsters. You guys have professional players on the squad. We want to rank you number 1 in the country. And our coach at the time said no. I said, what? Now, as I'm talking to him now, I said, Coach, why would you say no? And he said, I didn't think we were ready for it. I didn't think I didn't think we had the right mindset to be able to deal with that. And he told him no. And they called him back again. And he said he'll think about it. He went to Coach Chuck Kyle, the team that is St. Ignatius that had beat him all those years. We could never beat him. And the year he goes to Coach Kyle and says, hey, they want to rank us number 1. What do you think about us being number 1? And do you think that's good for your program and do? And Coach Kyle said, listen, do it. He said, when you give somebody that mantle and you put the responsibility on them, you're going to find out. It's either make you or it's going to break you. So when we put that mantle on, he said, okay, I'll do it. That very next year, 1997, we had lost to them all those other years. Couldn't get over the hump. We beat them twice in 1 year. Once at home with over 30,000 people at a high school football game, and the next time at an instant classic at the Akron Rubber Bowl with over 40-some-odd thousand people there. We won twice against them and won the national championship. Now, here's the thing. Sometimes you're not going to understand if somebody can handle the pressure, but the thing that you cannot do is live in your fears. Sometimes the expectation has to lift for you to understand where you want to be. And right now for the Cleveland Browns, one of the things that you're doing is you're living in your fears. I don't care how many quarterbacks came before. Baker, all of them. Who cares? You got young dudes that's ready to play. Always remember, your baggage ain't necessarily somebody else's baggage. Don't come into no relationship thinking that, oh, this is how everything's going to work just because you had a couple bad situations. Nah, some people come in and say, I've been doing this. I always won wherever I was at. I don't have to be, you don't got to give me a pep talk. Nah, I'm already ready to go how we going to move today. Sometimes you just need a couple of people. And I've always believed that when the Browns find a quarterback or find the person who's supposed to be the head of the team, all you need is a couple. You could change the world with two, 3 people. Contrary to what people want to believe, all you need is 1 or 2 people locked in step, ready to go. That have a healthy dose of I don't care what you've been through. That's what you need to lift people that have been down. And so sometimes where I hear people talk, and this is why things change, is you got to realize that certain people ain't been through what you've been through, and that's great. I want somebody that I can look at and say, well, listen, I don't care what you went through yesterday. I'm talking about what we're doing today. And that's the thing that the Cleveland Browns got to get to. Kevin Stefanski, the best way for you to save your job, forget about saving your job. The best way for you to thrive is to say, let me show you what. He don't even know yet, bro. I be getting, he don't even know. You know what you can say? If Shedeur Sanders hits, I drafted him in the 5th round when you fools didn't take him. They told me to start this guy and that guy and this guy over here. You know what I did? I poured into him. I said, yo, let's lock in. Let me show you how to elevate your game, and let me give you the opportunity to be a leader. See, people, when you empower people, they'll run through a brick wall for you. They don't know that. When you empower somebody and say, man, these dudes didn't even know. These dudes passed on you. Let me show you what we gonna do. Boy, but what? They're gonna say, listen, this is where I'm supposed to be at. That's the quickest way. They'll give you a lifetime deal. Bro, your quickest way to a lifetime deal is attaching yourself to the dude. And let me give you this. And I like also what Nick Wilson said right there. It's a healthy dose of skepticism that should be there. You know why? Let me give you this. Because if you are the franchise quarterback, there's responsibilities that come with that. When they find a franchise quarterback, you are automatically jettisoned into a position above all else. It goes the owner, then you. The owner, and then you. When you mention the Baltimore Ravens, what do you say? Lamar Jackson. People don't, I know the owner's name. Bashadi, I know the owner's name, but I'm in the game. Don't nobody know what the owner's name is. Don't nobody really care what the head coach is. When you say Buffalo Bills, it's Josh Allen. Don't nobody care who the owner is, who the coach is. You know why? The Buffalo Bills are Josh Allen. That's the way the game works. And when you are the top of the food chain, they need to trust you. Because guess what? My recruiting coordinator used to say, hey, my wife and my kids are shopping and in school and private school because of you. If you don't get no sacks, I'm gonna be gone. So I need you to get these sacks. It's the same thing. If you want to, everybody is, if you have a bad year, they're not getting rid of the franchise quarterback. They're getting rid of the coach or the coordinator. Huh? That's what's going to happen. So they need to vet you. They need to know that, yeah, if I talk to you behind closed doors, you got my back. I need to know that, yeah, you're gonna do the right stuff, because at the end of the day, they listen to who you should sign, who you should bring back, who you should cut, what uniforms you want to wear this week, what commercials you want. Do you want to go to training camp over here? That's how it works. So that's why they got to vet you out. But when you get it, you got it, you good. We don't have these same conversations in Cincinnati or Buffalo or Baltimore or Kansas City. We don't got them like that. Or Philadelphia or Washington. When you get you a guy, you good. But don't cut your nose off. Don't play yourself. And DJ Khaled, don't play yourself. If you got something, take the blessing. Now let's get to this.
This is why it's so frustrating when people want to just keep acting like Shedeur Sanders is a legit 5th round pick. They just really want to act like, oh, he was 5th round because he don't have an arm, he can't throw the ball, he can't do any of that. No, he was a 5th round pick because people's like, I don't want to answer questions about Shedeur, or I don't want to have to put him in a rotation and everybody clamors for him. I don't want the headache of it. But the fact that the no,
where do you if let's say he was the exact same player and his name was Joe Schmo, where would he have been drafted?
I don't care if his name was
worst second.
I don't care if his name was Milton Bradley.
Where do you think he would have been drafted?
It's worst second round. At worst,
I believe he would have been drafted in the second round.
At worst, second round. But I think I do believe that after talking to Aditi yesterday, I do believe that, and just listening to people talk about him, period, is everybody is making this assumption that what he did at Colorado as far as terminology and all those things isn't translating for whatever reason to the NFL.
You passed on Travis Hunter, okay? You got another pick for next year.
Yeah.
You got Dylan Gabriel in the third round because you said you liked him. Shedeur was a second round talent. People think he got a lot of talent. You got him. But it seems like people are so reluctant to even give these people an opportunity to show what they can do because they want to fast forward this year to get to next year. Like, it's like, yeah, we know that.
Are you talking about Stefanski?
No, I'm talking about in general, people, the media and people in general, certain fans.
Right.
So it's like, okay, I get that you don't want to ruin them. I get that you don't want to put them in there too fast, but I'm not going to be sitting here watching Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco for 16 games. And then you say, oh, well, next year, there's a guy we like, so we're going to take that guy. Fast forward this year, you don't see what Dylan Gabriel can do. You don't see what Shedeur Sanders can do. And for a team that's 3-14, you don't have the luxury of wasting draft picks. If you did not like these two, if you don't think that they can play, don't draft them.
I agree.
But that's
it is what it is. If you did not think they could play, why'd you take them? I'm not going to entertain it. I'm just not going to do it. Maybe other people can do it, but I'm not going to fast forward this year, try to act like you're slick and you don't understand what you're doing. See, look, let me just say it. A lot of people didn't want him here. A lot of people had whatever their biases and thoughts what it was. Now he's here. You can't lie and say he can't play. So now what you're gonna do is promotion, demotion. Well, I'm looking out for the best interests of you. You know how somebody insults you, right? And then you insult your intelligence, you'd be like, yeah, what I'm trying to really do though, I'm trying to help you out. So like somebody come over to your plate. Well, listen, man, I know you, it looks like you're a little overweight. What I'm going to do for you is I'm going to go grab your plate and I'm going to finish off that steak in your plate while you eating it because what I'm trying to do is save you. Your cholesterol look high, your blood pressure, borderline. It's in your family's background. So what I'm going to do is let me come over here and take that steak up off your plate and do you a favor. And you sitting there trying to finish your food and you say, how dare this person put their hand in my plate and try to act like they was helping me out, like they was concerned for my well-being. You ain't concerned for my well-being. You just being disrespectful. What you talk about? Now it's, oh, we gon' wait. No, we ain't gonna do it. Nope. I'm looking out for your best interest. Like you playing lions or bears out there. There's no damn grizzly bears out there, people. You think Shedeur Sanders is going up for a pack of hyenas? All this protecting stuff. You think he going against 5 silverback gorillas? You're gonna ruin them. Y'all think y'all real smart. And then after you don't play a whole year, you're the first one that says, we need a quarterback. We're drafting this guy. Let me get to the comments, man. There's 600 comments in here. Let's get to it. We appreciate y'all, man. Let's get to it. What are we doing, man? What are we doing? What are we doing? Christian affirmation. We appreciate your super sticker. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Appreciate you. get to your comments. Where we at? Let me get to the top. Woo, there's a lot of them. All right, hold on. Boy, this is what happened when you start cooking early in the morning. You got a lot of dishes. I got to get to these plates. Got to get to these dishes. Here we go. Tired of hearing about the twins, Kenny and Dylan. I love this. Miss Sunny FL. I love this. I'm an Eagles fan, and Kenny Pickett couldn't hold up when Jalen Hurts went out on concussion protocol. He got hurt after playing 2 quarters. McGee had to come in and win the game, and he is quarterback 3. By the way, has been my problem. I've said if Kenny Pickett comes out and plays well, I'll give him credit for it. But I see nothing in his past that says he is. Where are the throws? Where are the highlights? I heard Aditi, she was talking about it. She was like, just give him a chance. That's not why people play. He's had a chance. He got drafted in the first round for the Steelers, played 2 years. He then played for the Eagles. Those organizations are run better than the Browns. So if you couldn't play for the Eagles and they got better players, or the Steelers and they got better players, why would you feel like you could come to the why would you be able to get money off with the Browns? I've seen no throws. I just haven't. And the fact that he's just by default, no. You're not going to by default me with Pickett. You could have, listen, I'll take Flacco because Flacco at least could show me like I was a dude for the Ravens in a Super Bowl. Flacco can see, you saw what I did the last time I was here. We went to the playoffs. At least he can say that. No Pickett. Not at all. Not at all. Aditi most definitely emotionally attached to Kenny Pickett and don't like 12 at all. She would say she is probably the biggest supporter of Kenny Pickett. She is. William Wise, let the games begin. I like that. That's what type of energy we need to be on. Let it begin. Let's talk to him. Why do certain people go out of their way to extend energy, disseminating negativity? What purpose? To what end? If I'm going to spend time on something, I want it to be positive. I agree. Got some more super chats in the building. Beautifully blessed. The one thing that irks me most are people that move in fear. Either jump in or stay out of the way. You look like a woman that gets it done. No nonsense. I like that. You look like you playing no games. That's what I love about it. Hey, listen. If you guys are going to be in the game, be in it to win it. But other than that, stay out of my way. You see, this is what I love about playing and doing things in sports. The reason they make you run crazy amounts, the reason they make you do maniacal things, the reason they sleep deprive you, the reason they do it in the military, if you're doing in boot camps and physical training and you're doing all those good things, right? You know why they do that? It's not that they don't think you're in shape. It's just trying to weed people out. You see, you can't have people on your team that are weak-minded mentally. And a lot of it is, can you push when your body gets tired, when your stomach is growling, when your legs is hurt, when you don't feel like listening, guess what you do? You check out. And that's when mistakes happen. That's people not understanding what the plays are. Dropping the football when you're wide open. You're down in the fourth quarter and you get untimed penalties, untimely. Just that comes from being a lack of being mentally prepared. And a lot of people have never been through anything that weeds people out. That's why they make you run. That's why they make you, because what they want to do is say, either I want to run you so much that either you're going to get to the point where you say, bring it on. You can't run me up out of here. I'm in shape now. What, you want to run? Let's run. You want to lift some weights? Let's lift some weights. You want to max? We can do that too. You want to do some agility? Guess what? Hey, you want to wake up at 5 in the morning and do weights? And I've only been asleep 2 hours and I got a test tomorrow in physics or something? I could do all of that. Bring it on. You're not running me off of my perch. Those are the people that make it and you can win with. The rest of them, they're the ones, I don't want to do that today. I got to do that. This is too hard. We might as well lose next year. No. G, look forward to your show every Saturday live. I watch your other cuts daily during the week. I'm a fan of Baker, who is now also a fan of Shedeur Sanders. Thanks for keeping it real. Hey, and you know what? Jaguar 89. When a lot of people said this, everybody knew Baker. When Baker was here to start with, everybody was down with Baker. Everybody was excited because we saw we had something. Yeah, dang, 28 touchdowns. Okay, 12 interceptions. He's moving around. Baker had his ups. He had his downs. And at the end, there was people that's like, yo, listen, Baker don't want to play here. We're going to find another quarterback. But here's what I always said, and I always kept it real. And there was always being a bunch of detractors who said, I'm going to just hate on Baker. I'm going to just keep hating. I'm going to just keep hating. I said, listen, if he balls out wherever he's at, I have no choice but to say he's balling. And I said, there is no knock against you for being able to be a man and admit, listen, I'm admitting when you're playing well. And he's been lights out. He's playing at a Pro Bowl level, 4,000 yards over the last 2 years in Tampa Bay. He's resurrected his career. I also think he talked about some of his downs in Cleveland leading him to that. So at the end of the day, I got to call a spade a spade. Got to. 49er pimping. 49er pimping. Yeah, there you go. Shout out to the Bay. They said he's not ready, but never explain how they come to that conclusion. He ain't done nothing but ball in practice. How can you say he's not ready? All right, here we go. No disrespect to whoever. I'm just, whatever, if it, shoe fits, it's because a lot of what we do is smoking mirrors. Ask me, how many journalists do you think watch film? It has to be, it might be 3%. 3. Ask me. Now, I'm not saying that you can't be learned or study the game without knowing it, right? Not saying that you can't understand. Let me get that out here correct. Put it out here so when they cut this up, I don't want nobody's emotion. Stay out your feelings. Just because you did not play football does not mean you can't understand the game of football at a high level. I repeat, just because you've never played football does not mean you can't learn or understand the game at a high level. The caveat is if you put the work in. The caveat is how often are you in the trenches? And when I mean the trenches, I'm talking about rewinding that tape, sitting with somebody that says this is how it's going to be or what it's going to be. Most people aren't going to put that level of time and energy in. I'll give you a heads up. The amount of stuff that goes on, and I put it to you like this. There's a thing called, I think it's called the Dunning-Kruger effect. And it's the fact that most people believe that they are smarter than what they are. When in reality, they just know enough to make themselves look crazy. You ever say somebody is just dangerous enough, know just enough to be dangerous? What that quote is saying, they know just enough to be dangerous to themselves because they think that because they talk on a general level that means in depth. It doesn't. So and what happens is when you get to broadcasting school, they teach you how to do it. It's all easy. So easy a caveman can do it, right? So what they'll say is, say this don't sound, put it in the chat. Just say this ain't what you hear. If you want to say anything about somebody and not really say nothing at the same time, all you'd use is buzz phrases. So here you go. Well, Shedeur Sanders, he has a lot of outside noise in his camp and a lot of the outside noise, great personality, but I don't know if his offense at Colorado translates on the field. And I know he had Pat Shurmur, but some of the nuances in Pat Shurmur's offense really don't line up with what Kevin Stefanski wants to run. And so even though on the outside it looks like he should be well acclimated to what the Cleveland Browns want to do, that's necessarily not the case. But when you look at Dillon Gabriel's played in 3 different systems, 3 different places, and he's got a sprinkling of all that knowledge. And when you have that, he just seems to be a little ahead of Shedeur Sanders. So not that Shedeur, can't get there. He's just behind right now. So that's why he's off on the other field. And what he's doing is just working over there to the side, trying to figure out the timing of the routes, getting acclimated, calling the play in the huddle, and just having that presence. And I saw Dillon, and Dillon really spins the football well. I mean, the ball comes off his hands very quickly. And I ain't studied none of that. See how easy that come? What did you really say? Nothing. You said nothing. You'll know who are really talking about what they're talking about because you can debunk all of that in 3 or 4 conversations. Like I said, the same plays that Shedeur Sanders is running on the other side of the field are the same plays that the other quarterbacks are running. When they sit in the classroom and they learn the install of the plays that they're going to call, they give them the snap count, the cadence, the route progressions, what receiver is over here. You're going to run a dig on the backside, maybe a curl or a deep comeback. We're going to run play action. Is it 3-step? Is it 5-step drops? Where is his first target at? They do that all in the classroom. So when they go to the field, Shedeur Sanders is not running anything different. He's not running some playbook from Jupiter. He's learning the same exact play that Kevin Stefanski sat on the board and wrote up. So how do you tell me what he learned in college doesn't translate? None of it translates. You know why? How many of us took to a job interview our paper that we wrote in our History 305 class from college? They look at you like you're stupid. Hey, Mr. Bush, hey, nice to meet you. I have your resume. You have great credentials. We're here to talk to you about the management position at our capital firm. Do you have any of documentation, or you want to, hand the resume in? You're like, yeah. And also, I did this really good job on this history paper, like my junior year. My professor said it was great. Here you go. Take a look at this thing. These folks will look at you like you'd have lost your mind. Sir, don't you understand that your research papers in college have nothing to do with a regular job? You think you could get a regular job with... Bro, no. They're going to get you in and teach you the necessary skills for said specific role. None of it translates. So when they tell you these narratives and the people that be in the know hear it, you be like, oh my gosh, they went to the Spin 101 class. You can't make this up. You can't make it up, people. Next time at work, try it. Go back and talk to go back and at work, show them your curriculum. Show them that math 151 test you did on calculus. You got a B+, but somebody messed the curve up. Could have been an A, but they messed the curve up. They will look at you like, listen, is your mental health okay? Do you feel safe at home? I've been saying, Shedeur Sanders 12, go make other teams be salty like McDonald's fries that they didn't pick them. Yep. And that's how you get back. I ain't got to talk to y'all. See, I told y'all, here, the problem with y'all is, I set my stuff up. This is hard to refute. See, this is layered. I got the receipts. I'm not just hitting you with this time and this time. No, it's a progression. And when you got the progression, it hits different. What you mean he ain't ready to go? What you talking about? You see him running in front of that Mercedes-Benz in Texas at 12 a.m.? This dude got the whole uniform on now, fellas. Folks, Shedeur Sanders out there with the whole uniform. The Browns helmet and all out there with pads in Texas. Yeah, I'm going to get ready. Stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. Come out here playing around with us, bro. Yeah, that's the energy I like to see. Let's say 12 does what we all expect. Do you start him out the gate or let the vet start? What would you do if Flacco? What would you do with Dillon Gabriel, Flacco, and Pickett? Are the Browns equipped to handle a franchise quarterback? I'm not sure. Very good question. First and foremost, I've been saying this from Jump Street. This is a very tricky spot. For me, because I'm just, the way I think about it, my thing is I go into this thing and I would do two things. I would prepare Joe Flacco and I would prepare Shedeur Sanders as if they were both starting. I'm going to prepare you, which means you're going to get these first team reps and we're going to see. We're going to go throw for throw, audible for audible, check for check. And we're going to see who got it. If it's even or close, I'm starting Shedeur. I'll just tell you that right now. If it's, and I'm not the only one that says it. Herman Edwards said it. I wish I had the clip ready to go. Herman Edwards talked about it. He made his rounds. If it's close, I'm starting Shedeur Sanders. If Joe Flacco is better, I'm going to start the season off with Flacco. But he will give way to Shedeur Sanders. It's going to be a plan. We're going to ease this, and we're going to see. In terms of Kenny Pickett, I'm trying to move him in a deal. Maybe I could get a 5th-round pick back for him or something. I'm moving him in a deal somewhere to try to get some draft capital. And if I got Dillon Gabriel and I like him, I like to see Dillon Gabriel, and I'm like, okay, well, if he can learn the playbook and do his thing, and he could be a guy that could be my backup quarterback, though I got to keep doing his musical chairs, I keep him as the backup quarterback. The goal for me is, the goal for me is to come out of this season, if it was me, Shedeur Sanders is your starter, your franchise quarterback, and Dillon Gabriel is the backup quarterback. You got two of them, young, under contract, no problems, cheap, and guess what? You drafted them both. That's the way I see it. You take that 5th-round pick or whatever you can get back from Wilson and roll with it. But if Joe Flacco is better, more equipped, has a playbook, cool. I ain't opposed for him starting 5 games, 4, 5, 6 games. But I need double-digit starts from Shedeur. Double digits. And I'm going to evaluate from there. Because the goal is to come out of this season with your franchise quarterback, your replacement for Nick Chubb, your Swiss Army knife tight end, your third down back, and a defensive tackle that's going to help you with a pass rush up the middle with another first-round pick. So that's the way I see it going. And is Cleveland ready for a franchise quarterback? Some of them is. Some people in the fan base is. Some ain't. But we can't worry about them some ain'ts. It is what it is. It's always going to be the people that don't get on the train quick enough. They just get left. That's what it is. And the thing is, when you start, that crazy part about playing football is when you start dropping dimes, ain't nobody can say. When you throw a touchdown pass, it's hard to be like, I don't know if you're the franchise. Yeah, we're going to see. The Ashanti mom. Shedeur internet auntie. All I want for him is to be treated fairly. He's a first or second round talent, push to the fifth. G, thank you for speaking the truth on your podcast. # new follower. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And as we talked about it before, I don't think, and I've always said it, you guys are coming from a different perspective. A lot of people think, oh, and let's be clear. Let's be clear. Do some of my brethren in the industry think that I'm pandering? Sure. Do some of my brethren think that I'm bending over backwards to endear myself to the Shedeur cult of follower personality? Sure they do. But do I give a damn? Hell no. Because before any of this is the great thing about your football integrity. Before anybody showed up and did anything, I was one saying they should take him at 2. So nothing that I'm saying contradicts what my belief is as a football player. It also goes back to my research. I've already watched all his games. I don't know if you guys noticed, but Colorado was a big thing. We were watching back in Jackson State. I was watching back in high school on MTV. I've been watching. Won the state championship in high school. Prime was the coach. Went to Jackson State. I was what? So you can think I'm pandering all you want to. I'm just keeping it a buck. I just happen to do it more aggressively than y'all. Because the thing is, they be acting like people is dumb, bro. Like, come on. Like, everybody know he not no 5th round talent. I was mad in the 5th. I woke up on the 3rd day of the draft upset. Like, I cannot believe they playing these games. You hear this? And the thing I told, and most importantly, most importantly, let's talk about this. Most importantly, I'm trying to explain the psyche of people. A lot of times, people don't use psychology. They don't understand human nature. They just talk and not think about things. And I always told them, when you got new people coming into the fold, they don't owe you no allegiance. Think about that. Like, NIL deals happen, right? Transfer portal is here. People change schools 6-7 times in college. People is changing schools 6-7 times in high school. When you come into a fan base, the only time you get new fans is if they come with somebody else or you're really good. So Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are really good. So I'm sure there's some people that are on the fringes, don't have a football team somewhere. They just like, okay, I live in Iowa or Montana. I live in Utah. I like football. Chiefs is kind of close in the area. I like Patrick Mahomes. I'm a Chiefs fan. But other than that, it ain't really many times that you can really get in your bag and start talking about what you like and how you like it and people come aboard. And so there was this thing where I didn't understand the energy because people was mad that when somebody said they was only here for Shedeur. And I'm like, when you go to a wedding, why do you think the groom and the bride got separate lists? Who invited you? The bride. Who invited you? The groom. And if you want a problem, start looking at that list and one person have less than the other. I done tried it a couple times. Try to tell them try to get to the point where you talking to you. I'm not talking about the wife I got right now. I'm talking about the other one. The one I got right now would never do this. But let me say this. Get to the point where you talk about Aunt Mamie. You be like, Aunt Mamie? Yeah, she got to be at the wedding. She's like, but is that your real aunt? You trying to get me up out of here? Hey, my cousin John Boy, he got to get it. But I thought your cousin John Boy, I thought you only went to school with him. How's that your cousin? What? It's different. No, some people have to be there. So here's the thing. Even when you get married, some people is only there for the other person. I'm only here supporting my guy. I don't know. Hopefully you last, but I'm here to show him love. I'm here to support my niece. I don't know about you yet. I heard about you, but I'm going to give you a try because my niece married you. But you expect people to come in and just be like, oh, let me bow to the Cleveland Browns throne. They ain't seen a Browns game ever. You ain't on national TV. All they know is you ain't got no quarterbacks in your jerseys is kind of nasty looking. But you telling them like you, so we about to tell them, hey, y'all gonna come in here and get this money. You gonna do what we say. They're like, bro, I'm here to watch this guy. I live in wherever. I ain't never seen a Browns game in my life. I don't even know what y'all look like. So, but when you phrase it like that, people like, oh, that makes sense. Why would I get offended? Always ask yourself, why would you be offended? What I did is say, look, hey, my job is to try to convert you to a Browns fan. Maybe you'll watch my show. Maybe you'll like my content. My goal is to indoctrinate you. And then one day, we're so good that you won't separate the quarterback from the team. Because what happens when you have experience, when you have time together, when you build a relationship, when you go through ups, when you go through downs, whether you go through wins and losses, through injury, you become galvanized and you become one unit. And one day you'll say, when someone asks you, who's your favorite team? Today, it might not even be the Cleveland Browns. But guess what? He plays well and we win. My hope is one day you'll say, you know, my team is the Browns. I ride with the Browns. And that's how it's done. It ain't done the other way. You get nothing. Nothing comes from a bunch of, like, you got to go through stuff. We got to go through stuff to build that type of relationship. Come on now. Come on. I'm just talking. Man, some people, I done ruffled some feathers. 1180 in here. Less than 100 likes. Come on, y'all. Hey, let's shout out to you, Rev. I appreciate you. Hit that like button. Listen, I know it's like 2,000 or whatever we at, wherever we at. The like button free. Now, you may not like G. Bush because you think I'm a circus and a clown. But just remember, put some respect on it. I'm big circus. Even if you don't agree, you know it's entertaining. Hit the like button. Quit playing with us. What if you have business history? Show receipts. Of course. You're not pandering. Cleveland has the cheat code, but afraid to use it. See. Listen, calling the franchise quarterback in the 5th round pandering is wild work. And slipped up on a quarterback you got for free that I wanted to get. I'm sorry. Listen, I couldn't go over. I said we could have got Travis Hunter and Shedeur. Shout out to Travis Hunter. I take Shedeur though. I can't be beggars can't be choosers. What if we got 2 franchise quarterbacks? That's a good thing to have. A great thing. That's exactly right. G. Bush. We've been watching Shedeur since he was a kid, from the family reality show to Jackson State, Colorado, the NFL. We ain't new. We ain't new to it. It's true to it. We ain't. G. Bush, are you reporting every day post-training camp? I will not be posting every day post-training camp. My days off are Wednesdays and Thursdays. So what I'm going to do is on those days, I'm going to try to get out there, and then what I'm going to do is post my thoughts. Training camp. We're going to do a live thing, whether you're on UCSS over here. I'm going to post those. So I think they're going to be great shows. And what I plan on doing is, you see, when you're a disruptor like me, you got to find out all the ins and outs. I told him over at UCSS, I said, hey man, I need all the rules. Give me the rules. I don't want no problems. I don't want to say G. Bush was in here looking for D and Jimmy Haslam. He's like, G. Bush was snooping around Stefanski. No, I was not. I was not, sir. I was looking for the cafeteria. Yeah, so we go not every day, but we're gonna be out there those days, and those days I will come back and give you that report. Got to. Why would someone become a fan of a losing team for no reason? See, I try to help you out, D-Bell. I try to help you out. And you just stay there. Why would I pull up and I follow Shedeur for his career, and where he is, I am. Love tour show. Oh man. Hey, E-Unit, watch Mason Grant. No, Mason Grant better start. He better start immediately. He better start. Chantel, how you doing? G. Bush, what's all these rumors with the Browns trading Shedeur to the Colts? Not happening. See this right here. So what people be doing is, contrary to popular belief, there are teams in the league that will put something out, and they'll put it's almost being like, you ever happen this in high school? They'd be like, man, you throw a rumor out, yeah, you know, me and so and so be talking low key. You and who? When you start talking to Jennifer, and we be talking low key, you know what I'm saying? And then when somebody say, and go back to her, somebody said, you been talking to G. Bush. Now, she got a decision to either say, I ain't worried about him. I don't even like him like that. Or she could be like, I mean, I don't talk to him, but who told you that? And if you say that, now all of a sudden, I might got a shot. You didn't shoot it down? See how that works. Shedeur Sanders to the Colts, right? Fuck Colts. Let's get to the Shedeur Sanders and the Colts. Colts throw that out there, right? Well, you know, Shedeur might, you know, they want to see what the Browns going to say. Well, I know they got Dylan Gabriel. I know they got Kenny Pickett. I know they got Flacco. We just had Flacco. Let's kick the tires on it. We'll throw it out there. Maybe we might spark a conversation where they say, well, look, we drafted Dylan Gabriel first, so, you know, we could give you Shedeur. What if we offer you a 3rd round for him? Because here's the thing. There's a lot of people out there that are looking at Shedeur Sanders, like, well, he hasn't really done anything. His dad, that whole narrative about his dad being some sort of, I don't know, distraction, or they looking at the interviews. What they understand is, man, he ain't that bad. As a matter of fact, he really ain't even did nothing. Now all of a sudden they're looking around like, man, I wouldn't mind to have him over here. I wouldn't mind having him over here. Well, they looking at the same thing y'all looking at. He's throwing the football well. He's interviewing well with the media. He's not doing nothing. Like, he's balling out. He putting extra work in. Now, guess what? Some of the stuff they listen to, maybe some of the stuff that they shouldn't have. And now all of a sudden, they're a little remorseful. So let's throw that out there and see if the Browns will take the bite and say, okay, yeah, well by the way, we'll open some conversations about that. Sapper Daddy says some of the media headlines and it takes this offseason have been wild. Narratives are running rampant, and honestly, I had no faith in the regime to make the right decision wanting to pick it or Gabriel to start. It's asinine. I appreciate that super chat. Some of the stuff that we've been doing and we've been talking about a little bit, I think that also comes from a place of, nowadays, more of what we're reporting is more of what we feel. Because as I've been saying this over and over again, and obviously this is, no one, how do I say this? The game is different. More and more now, there's less and less access to real, concrete source knowledge. Right now, what you're saying in real time is a bunch of people all over the spectrum picking the guys and guessing who they think is better, or who they like more, or who they would like to see, or who they want to play. Not necessarily anything based on any factual information or sources. So when you have that, you start to have a bunch of information everywhere. And so for my thing is, I've never claimed to have no crazy sources. Now, there are some things I did have some sources on, but I always learn this too. Things are fluid. Just because somebody told you something yesterday don't mean that ain't gonna flip it, right? So there's a lot of different things people use but people are more apt to take it as, well, okay, well, they must know something. I know, it's just like, that's just their opinion on it. And I don't have no problem with nobody having no opinion. And that's the thing. People say, oh, well, you do these shows, and do you have a problem when you see people? I'm like, why would you have a problem with somebody because they think somebody is good and you don't? I don't, as men and grown women, I thought we were more evolved to a point where it's like, all right, well, you don't think he's good? I think he's good. Let's see what happens. Why would there be a problem? There shouldn't be, on nothing that we talking about at all. Yoshi Dochi 2006 says, ask former players, Rome and Macedonia took centuries to build. Leaders are key. Sanders, Judkins, Fannins look like Caesar, Philip, and Alexander. Shout out. Listen, I wish I could see how he slid in that history lesson, boys and girls. You need leaders. And you need leaders to inspire from the front, like Alexander the Great did. You need people to have shock and awe, like Hannibal with his war elephants over the Alps. I always thought that was crazy. I said, this man wore elephants and went to battle against the strongest empire in the world. And he was like, yeah, shock and awe. That's how I'm going to do it. Running over y'all with my war elephants. I said, this is wild, bro. Hannibal was a bad boy. Bad dude. But you need some foresight and leadership as well. And here's the thing for Kevin Stefanski. The foresight should be, bro, if you want that next contract, you got something right in front of you, bro. You want that next deal. It's right there. Get it going with Shedeur Sanders, and you're cooking. You're cooking. Shedeur did everything he did at Colorado, at Alabama, nobody would be saying nothing. Always use I don't know what CP as an excuse, like he was throwing for him. I do believe Jessica Girl 007. We appreciate your super chat. I don't like the fact that they dismissed the stat. He's been one of the most accurate quarterbacks. I don't like that. I don't act like they had a juggernaut squad. And then they want to say, well, he had a juggernaut squad, but then again, they'd be like, oh, but he didn't beat nobody. Come on, man. Come on. Come on. Stop. Come on now. No. We're not going to do that. Moving in post. Atina Film Studios. We appreciate the super sticker. Thank you so much. Thanks for all the people that is tuning in right now. We want to thank you guys for pulling up on us, making the barbershop on Saturdays a place to be where we can talk and do some things. Before we end the show, I got one other thing. Before we end the show, I got one other thing I want to get to about Shedeur Sanders that I think a lot of people are missing. And I think it's important to highlight this prior to training camp, because I think he's flipping the switch a little bit. I'll come back and talk about that here in just one moment. But I do have to get to this. There is another story that we must talk about that G. Bush has talked about ad nauseum. And so it's another story of what the heck is going on with your boy, LeBron James. Let's talk about this.
NBA's national analyst for ESPN, Brian Windhorst, on why Cavaliers trading for LeBron James is pretty much unrealistic.
Let's say the Lakers win 57 games. Let's say they go blasting through the Western Conference playoffs. Let's say Luka wins the MVP. Let's say LeBron averages 40 in the finals, okay? Would they then be like, you know what, maybe we should re-sign him? Yeah, okay? But as we sit here in July, it looks like the Lakers are planning on this being the last year for LeBron. So if you get a year from now and LeBron still wants to play into age 42, yeah, I think it's a conversation. But as soon as LeBron opted into that contract, and as soon as the Cavs entered the second apron, it pretty much closed the door on this happening.
It'll be interesting to monitor what happens with LeBron James.
Now, as the world turns in LeBron James theater, we got to get to the thing. And the thing is this. I'm going to just be honest with you. It's grown legs. LeBron is a telltale sign of understanding and not understanding where your bread is buttered. As the great Avon Barksdale once said to Stringer Bell, you running around playing these away games. Don't play away games. Can't be playing these away games. LeBron went to, he goes out to Los Angeles, does what he does, gets out there and plays and realizes one or two things. You're not Magic. You're not Kareem. You're not Kobe. You're not Shaq. They view those people as homegrown stars. And even after you developed, and even after you brought a championship to their organization, they didn't respect it like that. Let's take a look at this. They didn't respect it like that. Oh, no. Where we at? They didn't respect it like this. They didn't. Let's get to it. LeBron James reportedly felt that the Lakers did not fully value everything he had done while shifting focus to Luka Doncic. Now, this is always where it comes from. This is always where it comes from. At some points in time, the people that have always been wanted, it's a different feeling when you're not wanted. when people don't clamor for your name, when people don't call for you, when people ain't asking for no extensions, when people ain't saying, hey, LeBron, what we doing? How we gonna move? You want an extension this year? At some point in time, that all fades. LeBron reportedly felt that the Lakers didn't fully value everything he had done while shifting his focus to Luka Doncic. James understood that the Lakers, taking advantage of an opportunity to pivot to younger superstar, but James' perspective said nuance was sometimes lost during the transition. Doncic had never asked to be a Laker. James, for his part, had chosen LA. Those are the away games. Coming in 2018, when the team had missed the playoffs for 5 consecutive seasons. So he went to the Lakers. This is after the Cavs had gone to the finals 4 straight years. He left, went to the Lakers because he always thought that was what it was going to be. He always thought that he was going to be embraced and that was going to be the deal. When the team had missed 5 playoff consecutive seasons, the worst run for the franchise since it moved from Minneapolis. 2 years later, James had helped them deliver a 17th championship. See, this is what always happens. Yeah, you got him a championship, but it also made them think of you as some sort of mercenary, somebody that came and got us what we wanted, but you were never going to be the true bride. See, this is the problem. When he went there in 18, I didn't think LeBron really figured it out. He really figured out that the tide in public sentiment had flipped. That's why you see LeBron in a lot of interviews, and he says he talk about why people always want to talk about championships. Sometimes he gets in his bag and his feelings, and he seems to be a little edgy. Well, the reason he's a little edgy is because when you went out to LA, you thought that was really going to move you ahead, and it didn't. Actually, it almost moved you further away because people started to knock your hustle. They started to be like, oh, well, you won a championship for the Lakers. You're still not Kobe. So you're sitting there at 4 rings, looking around. You're 2 from Jordan. And then that Jordan conversation starts getting further and further away. Let's keep talking about this because it always gets interesting. This is one of the interesting points. Lakers ownership notified Luka Doncic ahead of the time about selling the majority control of the Lakers. LeBron, however, was left in the dark. That's per Brian Windhorst. He didn't even know they were selling the team. That means you're not in the future, bro. They didn't even let you know they were selling the team. And they probably got a bunch of bucks because you're still on the team. They used you to lure a lot of that in. You didn't even know what's going on. That's why you see, when you ask, why is LeBron being his feelings in his bag? Because the writing is on the wall. Yesterday's price ain't the same price as today. They told Luka what it is. They're obviously building around Luka. It is what it is. So what do you do, LeBron? What do you do? Let's talk about it. Well, this is another report. Ramona Shelburne, Brian Windhorst talk about it. All signs point to Lakers wanting to move from LeBron James in the spring of 2026. The Lakers had already made their statement in not offering James a contract beyond this season. It was abundantly clear that the 21-time All-Star's time as the face of the Lakers had, for the first time, a planned end date, even if James' record-setting NBA career did not yet. Whether the 2025 or 2025-2026 season is to be James' final season in the NBA is up to him. But if he wanted that kind of Hollywood ending that only the Lakers can give legends of the game, the release date was set. Spring 2026, Luka Doncic in, LeBron James out. Brian Windhorst been spicy too. He's been spicy since LeBron called it. He said he didn't know what he was talking about. I don't know him. But let me just get to this. You've been phased out, big homie. And I always question. I ask Jason Lloyd, I ask all these folks, what do you want? What do you want? Do you want to win? Or you want to play nice? You want to win championships or you want to play nice? Because right now you see nice don't make it. There are some people that will tell you, even if you get to 6 championships, you'll never be Michael Jordan. You know what my idea would be? My sentiment would be? Well, we sure as hell gonna find out because I'm gonna get them 2 damn rings one way or another. And once I get them 2 damn rings, and once I get all the titles, I ain't gonna say that. We're not gonna get demonetized. See, they playing you for a sucker. They think you sentimental. You gonna stay out there and look around while they rebuilding? No. Knock on the door, tell them, get me up out of here, and get the packing. Go back where you came from, bro. And this time, that might not even be a negative thing. See, you always gotta go with the person that brought you to the dance. Your legacy is in Cleveland. It wasn't in Miami. It wasn't in the Lakers. And for those people that are running around here talking reckless, LeBron James can force the buyout. And for those that act like he's not good, you done lost your mind. See, never let your emotions get in the way of what's rational. Yeah, LeBron left twice. He got you a ring, though. Don't tell me, I want to do it by myself. I don't want to do nothing by myself. You going to give me, hey, you want to work for 45 years or you want the lottery ticket? Give me the lottery ticket. I ain't got no time for that. See, every time we hear that, that is the reason why I continue to tell people, people are not interested in truly winning at the highest levels of anything. They are willing to only win when it's convenient for them, when it's on my terms, when I'm comfortable. I only want to win with the guys that I like. All right, well, let's talk about this. We can keep talking about how good LeBron is not, but we're not going to talk about this. And here's the stats. I said last week when I put a video up, he's not a top 10 player. He's not a top 10 player. 21-time All-NBA selection. 21. He was second team All-NBA last year. Y'all want to keep debating that fact? Let's get to the numbers. Let's get to the numbers. Let's look at these. 24, 8, and 8. He's 41. True shooting, 60%. Almost 40% from the arc. Come on now. 51% from the field. What are we talking about? All he did in the playoffs is up that. 25 points a game, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks a game. True shooting, 60%. What are we talking about? If you don't think that this dude can come back and instantly put the Cleveland Cavaliers in the finals, you've lost your mind. See, I know you heard. You just heard Brian Windhorst say this. You just heard Brian Windhorst say, I know they got to buy him out, all that good stuff. Well, let's talk about this a little bit. I don't usually do this. I don't usually pull up comments and just make content off of them. But shout out to this person who was definitely in the comment section somewhere, and he's cooking. Let me show you this. It says, I am pretty sure that this has already been agreed upon with LeBron, the Lakers, and the Cavs. These 3 transactions will all be contingent on one another. Now, shout out to him. In true conspiracy theory nature and true X-Files nature, he also plays into the collusion that NBA and NFL and the Major League Baseball all get into. Take a look at number 1. And by the way, put it in the comment section and say, is this plausible or not? I need to know. The Lakers will buy LeBron James out around 26 to 35 million. The Cavs will send Jalen Tyson, a 2024 number 20 overall pick, and their 2031 first round pick to the Lakers for Bronny. LeBron will sign with the Cavs for the veteran minimum. Reasons why this will work for everyone: LeBron will still make around 30 to 40 million for this season and will be able to compete for a championship. Check. The Lakers will receive what is essentially 2 first-round picks for agreeing to buy LeBron James out, and they will shed Bronny's contract, which is the only worth having if his dad is on the team. Check. They will also have around 22 to 27 million in payroll this year. The Cavs get LeBron, and most importantly, the NBA gets a great story to follow with LeBron and his son pursuing a championship together in their hometown. Check. My man was cooking. This is high level right here. You see what he did? At the end of the day, guess what? The NBA got rating problems. Nobody wanted to see no Indiana Pacers and Oklahoma City Thunder. Nobody's trying to see that. Who wants to see that? But they'll watch the Cavs and LeBron back in Cleveland. Can you imagine? He tells them, yeah, the Lakers thought I was finished. LeBron starting fake beef. Lakers thought I was finished. They built around Luka, and we needed to figure this out. And by the way, you can say what you want, but this is the only way to catch Michael Jordan. This is the only way to catch Michael Jordan. Now you win championships with 4 different iterations and teams. You left, you grew up here, you left, came back, left again, then came back again with your son? What a storyline. And by the way, you got Donovan Mitchell. You got Evan Mobley. As a matter of fact, here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna get to this while we're gonna do this, because I'm almost finished. Guys, I'm almost done, but I just wanted to show you just how this dude is. He just does what he wants. And the thought process that we don't see it. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah. Just go ahead and pay that highlight while we're watching. Yeah, go and just reminisce. Take you down memory lane. This is the only way you're gonna catch Mike. You see the difference in the level of how people cheer for you here? You see that level? Look at the iconic nature of what we're doing right here. You ain't never been this high in LA. You come back to the crib, you got Donovan Mitchell, you got Evan Mobley, you got Jared Allen, DeAndre Hunter, and the King. It's not debatable. And for those people that think that you're going to win it on your own, good luck. This is what I'm trying to see. I'm trying to be back in prime time. I'm trying to be back to the point where we is the top dog. And guess what? You already the top dog in the East. You already. But this right here, this gets SGA and them boys off the sticks. Yeah, you might be good enough to get to the finals, but ask yourself, are you good enough to beat the Oklahoma City Thunder? Yeah, you good enough to get there. Is you able to finish the job? And I need to finish the deal. So like I always tell people all the time, I'm trying to overdo it. Project stockpile. I want all the talent, all the ball players, all of it. And you only got a 2-year window anyways. With the new luxury tax in the second apron, you're getting ready to pay Evan Mobley $50 million. Donovan Mitchell is going to be getting $50+ million. Darius Garland is going to be getting 50 some odd plus million. And by the way, it's not possible. You can't keep all 3. So you talking about, well, why would we break up our core to just bring him back for 1 or 2 years? You only have 1 to 2 years. Why you tripping? And that's just the facts, people. Just the facts. LeBron, Do the right thing. Do the right thing. You might be able to get something off. Might be able to do your thing. I promised y'all I was going to get back to something that I wanted to talk about. Now that we've got our LeBron hour over, we're going to get to something. I told you we would get back to this. Stephen Allen said something earlier. He says, G. Bush, we was on Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show and we was talking about with Adam the Bull. And we were talking about that conversation. And I said, you know, hey, you're going to have to play these guys, man. Figure it out. We're not trying to see these dudes run up and down the court and run up and down the field all the time. And we're not going to get a chance to see the young dudes. So Stephen Allen says something. He says, what G. Bush is saying to Adam the Bull is that if the Browns aren't going to play and develop the picks, then the draft is a failure. I think Pickett and Cleveland both will pass Cincy this year. Cleveland and Pittsburgh will pass Cincy this year. Bengals have failed this offseason, and I'm an objective Bengals fan. So this guy is a Bengals fan, right? And so he's talking about what we're speaking of in terms of developing picks and getting it done, right? And it brought me to this thought process. What is this? It brought me to this thought process. You can't have it both ways. You just can't. The thing that gets under my skin a little bit, and we kind of hinted at it earlier with Stefanski, is that we can't get to a point where we don't develop anybody, but then keep saying that we don't have the quarterback. At what point does it become your job to develop talent and your job to develop a quarterback? Or is it all about just having enough picks to luck into it? And what I mean by that is, what the Browns are saying is, and what the Browns are putting out there to the public is, the only way that we're going to win is if we get a quarterback. And quarterbacks come by getting lucky, and then they get them there, and then it's over. That the premise of what we're talking about is a quarterback falls from the heavens. He comes in riding on a donkey. He comes in and he's the savior, and he has all the skills and abilities and leadership capabilities and tendencies already built in. Like it's some sort of divinity. Like it's just, I was 13 years old and I knew that I was going to be a franchise quarterback. So they're telling you that the only way that you can win in this league is to get lucky and get a finished product. But we know that's not true. We know it, life does not work that way. So when you say, I'm going to get a quarterback next year, you're just telling me that you wasted my time this year. Have you ever talked to, we all got parents, right? And this is, if you grew up in the Black community, you kind of know this, right? The quickest way for you to get in trouble, is I tried this once or twice and it didn't work out for me. Let me know. Put a 1 in the chat if this has ever happened to you. You're a kid, your mom asks you, what do you want to eat? What do you want to eat? And you say, I want spaghetti. I want spaghetti. And she like, well, I don't got no sauce for spaghetti. Well, can we go to the store and get some sauce? She reluctant and look at you. Well, I got to stop over here and get something from the pharmacy so we can go get some sauce. You go get the sauce. She ground up the ground beef. She come back. She put the pot of spaghetti on. She cook it, put it in front of you, and you say, I don't want that. She said, what you mean you don't want that? I want hamburgers. Boy, that's the quickest way to get, you might, boy, that's the quickest way to die. I done went all the way out my way and went over here and got this spaghetti. You gonna eat that spaghetti. Matter of fact, you gonna sit there till you eat that spaghetti. No. Matter of fact, no, I'm gonna feed you the spaghetti. No, I don't wanna feed you the spaghetti. Sit right there. Matter of fact, go upstairs. Go upstairs. Take the spaghetti. Get the spaghetti, take it upstairs. Nope, bring it back. You know what? Wait till your daddy get home. I can't believe you done said some stuff. Don't tell me I want some spaghetti to cook this spaghetti for you. And you gonna act like a fool. Talk about you want a hamburger. It will eat you before you eat it. I think I said that wrong, but my grandma used to say I'm confused. But you see how indignant that is? Like your mom that took the time out to do something and she thought she was doing you a favor because she loved you and she wanted you to be happy with the spaghetti. But you turned around and you spit in her face and said, that wasn't good enough. I don't care what you went through. I want hamburgers now. Well, you about to get, you're in trouble. It escalated from food to a whooping in 5 minutes. You're like, how did I get beat? And I be telling my brother, I be looking at him, man, you might want to sign that treaty. You tripping. Eat the spaghetti, dog. Eat that damn spaghetti. You playing around. You making it tough for everybody. You making it hard for everybody, bro. So with Kevin Stefanski, y'all telling me he got to have a quarterback. I need a quarterback to win. I need a quarterback. I need quarterbacks right now. And we say, okay, Kevin. I know we could have got Travis Hunter, but I'll let you do whatever you want to in the draft. You tell me what quarterbacks you want. I don't want Jackson Dart. I don't want him. I don't want Tyler Shuck. I want Dylan Gabriel. Give me Shedeur. All right, you got him. We get home. We get back to the stadium. We get back to practice. You say, all right, which one of these quarterbacks you want to unwrap and put on the practice field? I don't want any of those quarterbacks. I want Arch Manning next year. Boy, you done. What? I asked you. We went out our way. The passed on Travis Hunter, and you got these two quarterbacks sitting on your roster. You talk about you don't want them now. I want one next year. Nah. We're not going to play that game. We're not playing the spaghetti with you. You told me you wanted spaghetti, Kevin. You told me you wanted spaghetti. You going to eat the spaghetti. And you going to play these quarterbacks too. You are. You going to play them. We're not going to do that. Oh, I want hamburgers. Nah, no. It's the quickest way. You can't pull that in this household. Where I come from, you can't pull that. We ain't doing that. Play the guys. You can't have it both ways. You can't. You picked, figure it out. But I'm not about to go back to the grocery store shopping for more quarterbacks for you when you ain't ate the plate, you ain't used the plate, you ain't used the quarterbacks that we just went and shopped for this year. You're going to let them sit on the table. Well, okay, well, we're not buying you no more quarterbacks then. When you get hungry, you'll go eat. Yeah, who heard that before? When you get hungry, you'll go eat. That spaghetti will look good about 2-3 days from now. But we're not going back every week to get no quarterbacks. Because you didn't like the ones you had right there. You didn't eat the quarterbacks you didn't have. That was crazy. Pause. You didn't play the quarterbacks you got. Let me get some final comments out here, man. Hey, hit that like button, man. If that made sense to you, let me know. Let me know. Yeah, crazy. Let's see. Let's see. Yoshidoshi, 2006, Philip the Great Alexander's father actually united the Greek world, created the plan Alexander used to topple Persia. Both leaders are beyond reproach. By the way, you are correct. Alexander the Great used to say, did my father not pay you well? Did he not bring you together? You know, listen to Alexander the Great. He didn't like being on the home. He was always trying to go, he was crusading it. He was like, hey, we going home? Nah, we ain't going home. I want to march to Persia. You're like, what? We just got done marching. Nah, we need it's right for the taking. Top 3 DBs in Browns history. Go. Denzel Ward is probably there. I'm gonna go with Hanford Dixon and Frank Minifield. Yeah, they're my 3. Morning Coffee says, that's why I said ring chaser. C12 got the media in Cleveland on fire. He went back in Cleveland 12 City now. Hey, listen, you might want to come on back over here and get that money. It's money on the table, LeBron. You got a shot. William McKinley became a new YouTube member. We appreciate you for being a member. We appreciate that. Yoshidoshi, it's more impressive to save the league, Bird and Magic to expand it, Jordan, Barkley, and Kobe, or maintain it, LeBron. What is more impressive? Oh man, this is tough. I would say anytime you start something and be a pioneer, I'll go back. Shout out to Dr. J and in the ABA. I'll start before that. But Magic and Bird, what they did, it was, they was on tape delay. You know, from Magic, from them rivaling and playing at Michigan State, Indiana State, playing each other, you know, doing that thing in college, and then for them winning championships, Magic winning championship, Bird winning championships, and go back and forth. And it was the dichotomy. It was the slow, rough and tumble of Boston in the East. It was the fast LA Showtime in the West. You had Magic Johnson, one of the black icon, Larry Bird, the white icon, and they just clashed. But then off the court, they developed a friendship and rivalry where every time you could turn on a TV, there was somebody you could identify with for both cultures. So I think that was huge. But when you talk about Jordan, though, Jordan, and let me just let y'all know this right now. When you talk about significance and cultural significance of what's going on, there will never be a person who can eclipse Michael Jordan culturally and what he meant to the game and what he is. And I'll give it to you like this. Jordan is so famous. So there's 3 of them. Michael Jordan and Michael Jordan and Michael Jackson, right? They are so famous that when you're born, inside your own DNA, you innately know that they are famous. But you were not born when they were born. You never saw Michael Jackson moonwalk. You never saw Michael Jordan dunk a basketball. But you know culturally how significant they are just by being born. That's how famous they are. Thugs knew who Michael Jackson was. Thugs, whole thugs. Like all the gangsters and all the gangster rappers, they had gloves trying to moonwalk. Matter of fact, Michael Jackson is so famous. Michael Jackson was famous his whole entire life. Michael Jackson, my mom is like 65. Michael Jackson was famous when she was a little girl. She had me and my brothers. I'm 43. Michael Jackson was still famous with 3 different hair colors and 3 different skin tones and was still famous. Crazy. But Michael Jordan, culturally and what he means to the game, Jordans is part of the Jordans. Like, people wake up and still know that you're supposed to buy Jordans and never seen him play. I still buy Jordans, and I seen him kill the Cavs myself. It's weird is what it is. He made it look cool. Let's see. Hazy Eye Publishing, LLC, big dog. I'm tuning in late watching for the beginning. Hey, is there any truth to Dylan throwing a temper tantrum and complaining about ball size? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. People be playing around. I don't think he's saying that. You know, people be looking around and be like, man, let me just throw this out here. I kind of debunked the Colts thing. I debunked the Dylan Gabriel thing, right? Now take all of what you said at LeBron's filling stands with Cleveland and Shedeur, bring it with Browns. Cleveland would lose their minds. Beautifully blessed. Boy, can you imagine? Can you same place at the same time? That's Snoop Dogg and Tupac. America's Most Wanted. Boy, I'm just throwing it out there. Hey, Brian, if you listening, the city moving. Moving. Come back and get them 2 rings, bro. Bro, you got a lifetime Nike deal. You already a billionaire, man. You worry about them little coins, them little 50. Listen, I'm petty. I would come back just to get the 2 rings just so I could stick it to all the people that said I wasn't Jordan. How you like me now? I'm the leading scorer all time. I got the same amount of rings as Jordan. I'm not richer than Jordan, but I'm there. I'm close. There's levels to this, but you know. Come on, big fella. Come on now. You can even come on the barbershop. Come on over here, man. We talk to you. You ain't got to come to the barbershop. Ring Chaser is a great player. Real basketball fans and NBA legends don't respect Ring Chaser for team hopping. If he go back home, good for downtown Cleveland to make money and 12 and Ring Chaser. And I'll tell you what. Hey, listen. You call him Ring. I'm Ring Chaser. I'm the Ring Chaser. I will dig a corpse up if I could go ring chase. Charles Barkley, you got something left in the tank? I want to listen. Man, there's 2 ways of thoughts, right? There's the Martin Luther King way, where it's more of a turn the other cheek. Then it's the Malcolm X way. When it comes to my sports accumulation, I'm more Malcolm X by any means necessary. I'm trying to get it done by any means necessary. I want to cook. If LeBron gonna come back in, I want to be on TV. I want to be out in the second round. Get that. Ring Chaser G. Bush. I'm the king of the rings. Stefanski is like a sergeant teaching Shedeur lessons Coach Prime has taught him by Camp Watch, and we'll be in awe when the lessons featuring Coach Prime. Prime had already told him. And by the way, Coach Prime is not light on Shedeur Sanders. Go back and watch the high school. He was cussing him out every time he came to the sideline. Like, what are you doing? It's not like he is easy coaching him. Like, you know, he puts that work in. The Akron kid coming to save Cleveland again, 330, Mr. Write Down, Euclid King James, random hater. We appreciate you as well. I will say this, man. No random hater. I will say thank you guys all. If you missed my episode, I have my episode out, the worst fast food restaurants, top 5. Make sure you go check that out. Top 5 is TOP. The letter F, the number 5, VE. Make sure you subscribe to that. Go check that out. That episode is up right now on the channel. We appreciate you as well. I think we'll even put that in the chat. We'll put the top 5 in the chat where you can just link in and subscribe to that as well. We want to thank everybody for pulling up 2,200 people on a Saturday, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on UCSS or the Barbershop. We want to thank you guys for pulling up every single Saturday, taking time out of your Saturday to listen to us and to talk a little bit about the sports world and to give me an opportunity to talk my talk. With that being said, you never know where G. Bush might pull up at. Radio, television, or internet. But you want the fresh take, the fresh cut on sports, especially in Cleveland, I keep the Clippers with me, and I'm always ready to give you that fade. That being said, have a great rest of your weekend. Go Cavs. Go Guardians. Go Browns. Peace.
Quality, service, atmosphere. You're next in the chair. Feel at home in the Barbershop. G. Bush offers a fresh cut on sports. The Barbershop isn't just grooming for guys. It's culture, it's lifestyle, it's sports. And it's now the Barbershop is giving the sports scene a sheer shave and shine. Join the makeover now. Follow Garrett Bush at GBush91 on Twitter.